What's up, the squad? Back with another video. Y'all seen the titles going out. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me. Y'all see in the title. Definitely insane. Definitely insane. People are outraged, and I know y'all are. I know y'all are. And one thing about it, you know, you have individuals, and it's sad that you have individuals that don't pay attention to these things. But, you know, I feel like it's one of those things that people have to learn for themselves. You know, they definitely have to learn, you know, for themselves. This is Zohran Mamdani, literally, you know, speaks, you know, after winning, you know, this mayor's race in New York. And literally always, you know, like everyone, they have something to say, you know, towards President Trump. Check it out.
So, Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
That's so disrespectful. So disrespectful.
We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants.
I'm telling y'all, and it's definitely sad, you know, having somebody that's obviously no, you know, no respect, you know, no respect whatsoever. But one thing about it, you know, I'm definitely glad, you know, that President Trump, you know, said something. But one thing that he tells Americans is, don't worry about Mandani.
On November 5th, 2024, the American people reclaimed our government. We restored our sovereignty. We lost a little bit of sovereignty last night in New York, but we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. We rescued our economy, regained our liberty, and together we saved our country.
And as y'all know, he says, you know, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. And that's one thing, you know, that, and honestly, a lot of people don't realize, you know, take care of it. I feel like that's one thing that I definitely believe, and I cannot wait to see something, you know, happen, you know, when it comes down to it, because it's not right. It doesn't feel right. You know, you got here, this is a post from Benny Johnson. I asked President Trump about Zohran Mamdani, saying as mayor, he would completely block ICE for operating the city. Check out what Trump says.
Mr. President, your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zohran Mamdani, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zohran Mamdani.
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. We send him money. We send him all the things that he needs to run a government. And by the way, they get about 3 times what you get, Ron. If you look at the per capita, Florida gets 1/3 of what New York gets in terms of the numbers. Why don't you give us those numbers?
Yeah, well,
because that's what we should send him.
Yeah, well, like sometimes people say Florida gets more because they count Social Security recipients, but that's not money to the state. Those are seniors that live here. If they moved to North Carolina, you could count it there. So it has no interaction with the state government. They get more in the city and state governments than we get.
Right, substantially. We're going to be watching that very carefully, and a lot of people are saying he's here illegally. He's, you know, we're going to look at everything, and ideally, he's going to turn out to be much less than a communist. But right now, he's a communist. That's not a socialist. You know, I've always said we will not have socialism in this country. In the speeches, I said, well, what? They skipped socialism, and you got a lot of them like that. And you see AOC, she's out there with her, you know, bad IQ. She's out there ranting and raving about how wonderful he is. And look, so far he's winning. He still has a race to win, but so far he's winning, and he has an advantage as a Democrat in New York City. I was there a long time ago, and it was a long time since a Republican won the city. Yeah, but you would think that a Republican would be able to win. Or you have a good independent running, Mayor Adams, who's a very good person. I helped him out a little bit. He had a problem, and he was unfairly hurt over this question. He made a statement to the effect that this is terrible. New York City can't have all these immigrants come in. And like he was indicted the following day. And I said, that was a phony indictment. And it was a phony indictment. That was a Biden indictment. I said, don't feel bad. I got indicted 5 times every time you opened your mouth. That was a bad group. That was a very dangerous group, I will tell you. These were not nice people. That was the only thing they could do. They had no policy. They had no skill. They had no anything. But they were very good at that. They were vicious, vicious, horrible people. Thank you.
So one thing about it, I truly don't get how, you have these different individuals, that is supporting somebody that's obviously trying to change New York for what it is, and for what it has been, and it's definitely sad. It's definitely messed up that you have individuals that's actually supporting this. And it honestly just goes to show you that just as well as the left, and how the way that they're acting, it just goes to show you just how much, people are brainwashed. They're brainwashed. They don't look, and see how important it is, to actually vote, and elect somebody in that actually cares, about America and Americans, and it's definitely sad. I'm telling y'all. Here it is, Scott Jennings, CNN.
Oh, are you saying he wasn't the unifying voice of a generation that you predicted mere moments ago? Axe, where was the man that you predicted would not slice and dice the? Look, guys, he started his speech by quoting Eugene Debs, who ran for president of the United States 5 times as the Socialist Party of America candidate. He repeatedly attacked people in this. No, I know my socialists. I keep a close eye on them. I work here. So here's the thing. He went after everybody that he thinks is a problem. People who own things, people who have businesses. He said an interesting quote: "No problem too large for government to solve."
Or too small, important.
And so when you think of the world that way, that every problem, no matter how small or how large, is something for government to do, let me just decipher this for you. Tax increases as far as the eye can see, which means the people who need to provide jobs to the young people that you say need jobs are going to flee as quickly as they possibly can. I think this was a divisive speech, and he clearly sees the world in terms of the people who are oppressing you and the oppressed, and he said the oppressed are now in City Hall.
I'm telling you, I feel like a lot of people don't understand what Mandani truly is and what, one thing I can't even say that I don't feel like people truly don't understand, because I feel like there's so many people that do understand, and just, people can't just not have common sense, though. That's the thing. I feel like so many people, it's a lot, it's just common sense. How people are treating, these things that's happening. I truly, me personally, I truly don't get it. I truly don't get it. I mean, this video alone, it says Van Jones warned Mamdani. Basically say you just yelled at your own voters. One thing about it that people don't understand, I played that first clip, and I'm gonna play this first clip. I played this first clip, and then I'm gonna play this clip, and it just goes to show you. It goes to show you on how much, y'all hear how Mandani spoke. I've showed y'all videos. Y'all seen videos on X. Y'all seen them around, whether it's Instagram, X, Facebook, wherever, TikTok, wherever y'all watch your videos, YouTube. And y'all see how, individual, him speaking. And as he's speaking and saying these things, he would say them calmly. He would sound like this. He would sound like that. But if y'all hear his speech, y'all hear him after he, got won, this mayor's race, it's a different tone in his voice. And I'm glad that, CNN had brought this up. One thing that people don't get is that power will change your tone very quickly. Power will change your tone very quickly, especially a person like this. And you can definitely tell. People aren't catching the signs. I'm telling y'all. Check it out.
Zohran Mamdani, next mayor of New York City. And John, what you make of that? Well, look, I've got divided reactions from my friends to this speech. First of all, you got to give the guy the credit. He defeated Democratic Party royalty, the Cuomos. That's a royal family in our party. Defeated them. Defeated the oligarchs and rich folks who jumped in to try to stop him, and then defeated Donald Trump. So the triumphalism that you see there is earned. A year ago, nobody ever heard of the guy. And the younger people who I'm hearing from feel a great deal of relief and pride, and they're fired up, and they feel they've been silenced for too long. So that speech appealed to some. But I think he missed an opportunity. I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. And I think that Mandani is the one you need to hear from tonight. There are a lot of people trying to figure out, can I get on this train with him or not? Is he going to include me? Is he going to be more of a class warrior even in office? I think he missed a chance tonight to open up and bring more people into the tent. I think his tone was sharp. I think he was using the microphone in a way that he was almost yelling. And that's not the Mamdani that we've seen on TikTok and the great interviews and stuff like that. So I felt like there's a little bit of a character switch here where the warm, open, embracing guy that's close to working people was not on stage tonight, and there was some other voice on stage. That said, he's very young, and he just pulled off something that's very, very difficult. And I wouldn't write him off, but I think he missed an opportunity to open himself up tonight, and I think that will probably cost him going forward.
Okay, let me explain myself. This is what I'm not gonna say I'm afraid of, but this is one thing of I told you so. You literally and that's why Scott Jennings is looking like that. You literally have so many individuals that have constantly have said how these individuals act, what their demeanor is, how they are. And you clearly see on how he is as he's won. I won. And I'm still throwing it. I'm gonna throw it in y'all face that I won. And now it's time to get greedy. Now it's time to get mean. Now it's time to do this and do that and whatever I'm allowed, and sneak by to do. And that's what a lot of people aren't seeing right now. And it's definitely it's honestly one of those things that's honestly getting on my nerves. It's truly getting on my nerves. This is one of the things that, I, myself, and others have constantly been telling people. This is truly who this guy is. And now you have Van Jones, and he's speaking like, well, this wasn't the same calm individual we seen on TikTok and this, that, and the other. Now his tone has changed. I mean, it's one of those things that you see right through a person. You see right through a person. You can actually tell. And that when I seen it for the first time, Zohran Mamdani, and how he acted, how he, I read, his demeanor, his posture, just seeing how he is as a person, and you can definitely tell a lot of it, is clearly fake. The lies that he tell. And then he's saying people won't like. Well, it's consequences. I mean, that's just how it's taken. I mean, truthfully, it's just how it's taken. I mean, you literally have here Zohran Mamdani claims New York is for legal aliens, not Americans. Said it clearly.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
He's telling it all right here. One thing that people don't understand is that a lot of these things that are said, that were said, and things that are said now from Zohran Mamdani, he hasn't said when he was running. That's what people don't understand. I can tell you right now, if Kamala were to run, she did, and it was bad. If Kamala were to be elected as president, and it wasn't Trump, I guarantee a lot of the things that she said she would do, a lot of the way how she was acting, all of that would have shifted. All of it. She like, fuck all men now. And that's exactly what Zohran Mamdani is doing. People are not getting it, man. I'm telling y'all, people are not getting it at all. Charlie Kirk tried to warn everybody. Check it out.
Okay, everybody. Zohran Mamdani, a radical socialist, is poised to win the Democrat primary in New York and become the likely next mayor of New York City. He wants to send social workers to crimes that are police officers. He's super weak on crime, which will make New York a very dangerous city, even more dangerous than it is right now. He wants the city to take over grocery stores, which is such an asinine, lunatic, insane idea. It's hard to even put it into words. More than anything else, though, he is a resentment-driven candidate who is going to try to promise the world utopia, and the result will be higher taxes, more dangerous cities, successful people will leave. Be careful what you vote for. Be careful what you wish for, because New York City has already been going down the toilet, and this guy will give it a push right off the cliff.
I'm telling y'all, it's definitely messed up. And I know I know a lot of y'all are wishing, and myself, that Charlie Kirk was here. And Charlie Kirk tried to warn. I'm telling y'all, Charlie Kirk tried to warn. And I guarantee I would give it a month. I would give it a month. It's already, just hear me out. Everything has already been pretty bad. We've seen that it's been a complete change, within New York. We see that. See how the New York City is looking. Excuse me. But I give it a month. I guarantee it is going to be completely different. I know a lot of y'all going to get in the comments and say, oh, Recklezz is already completely different. No, just wait. I'll get a month. I'm telling y'all.
If you live in America right now, you are going to be able to witness one of the greatest cities in American history, known as New York City, go down the drain by a socialist communist named Zohran Mamdani. Enjoy the show.
I'm telling y'all, enjoy the show. And that's one thing that people, hey, that's on y'all. I mean, this is somebody who obviously they support, they voted for, and one thing about it, don't be come and run. I'm telling y'all, trying to move and trying to leave and trying to do it, obviously, for the people, and I know it's hard, but for the people that, are, hey, listen, my advice to y'all, I would move. I definitely would. For the people that have been marching, I know it's hard. I know how things are. But trust and believe. I ain't even gonna say I think. I know it will possibly get even crazier if you're staying there. Check it out.
I could not care less who gets voted into office in New York City. I will be so transparent with you guys. Let them vote him in. Let them vote that communist into office and let them just reap the consequences of what comes from socialism and communism. Because the same people who are screaming about how their SNAP benefits were taken away and how they can't afford to eat this month because the government took away their SNAP benefits are the exact same people who are voting for Mamdani, which is just more socialism. Because again, people said this two times, if you guys allow the government to feed you, then you allow the government to starve you. What do you think is going to happen if he gets elected into office? He can take away that funding for your house, for your food, for your buses at any point in time, whenever he wants. And
people aren't thinking, I'm telling you.
I think that y'all just need to experience that. See what happens, reap those consequences. That's the only way that you'll learn that socialism is not the way to go. So if New York City agrees and elects in a Muslim, communist, socialist, whatever, then so be it. Let it burn. Let it burn. As somebody who lives in a red state in Texas, let it happen. And I love Abbott for him saying he's going to impose a 100% tariff on any person moving from New York to Texas because it's going to feed our economy down here, and you guys will have learned a lesson. So go for it. Love it.
People got to realize what's going on. I'm telling y'all, people got to realize what's going on. And it's definitely sad, you know, for the individuals that obviously, I know, like I said, now why I say it's hard is because times are hard right now. It is hard for a lot of people. I'm not even gonna lie. It's hard for a lot of people, especially with moving a different state, a different area. So I definitely see, but you know, and it's definitely sad, you know, that people, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I keep on saying this, just like it happened in Chicago. Y'all see what happened in Chicago multiple times. This is both times. You got Lori Lightfoot. Pretty sure that's her name. People. Oh yeah, we're gonna vote for Lori Lightfoot. This, that, and the other. Boom. What happened? People didn't like Lori. Things happened. Things got worse. Oh, we see Mayor Brandon Johnson. Or we see Brandon Johnson, you know, and this guy seems this, that, and the other. Look what's going on now. People have to realize what's truly going on. And they're not. I'm telling y'all. They're not. Definitely sad. Check it out.
I just want to make sure that I'm getting this entirely correctly. So you're telling me that the same people that are upset that the government is shut down so people cannot afford food are willing to vote for a mayor of New York City that wants government-owned grocery stores and wants to control the food. Okay.
See what I mean? It's a lot of these things are very, very so much of common sense. And these are people that are constantly posting out videos and putting out videos, you know, of people trying to get people to understand what they done did. You know, because I'm gonna tell y'all, just like I said something about Chicago and there's other places, you know, but just like I said that, these are gonna be the same individuals that's gonna be complaining. Y'all, this is who y'all wanted. Now y'all see him for who he truly is. I'm telling y'all, it's not right. Check it out from Vivek.
We got our ass handed to us in New Jersey, Virginia, and New York City. Democrats swept all three. There's two key lessons for Republicans. Listen carefully. Number one, our side needs to focus on affordability. Make the American dream affordable. Bring down costs, electric costs, grocery costs, healthcare costs, and housing costs, and lay out how we're going to do it. And number two, cut out the identity politics. It doesn't suit Republicans. It's not for us. That's the woke left's game, not ours. We don't care about the color of your skin or your religion. We care about the content of your character. That's who we are.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling y'all. And one thing about it is to keep y'all head up and stay positive and pray, bro. I tell everybody that. That's the most important thing. Because one thing about it is that God sees all. He definitely sees all. That's what people fail to realize. He definitely sees all. He sees, you know, when you having so much hatred. This year alone has been so much violence. It's been so many violent acts and just chaos. And it's definitely sickening. It's definitely sad. People got to wake up, realize what's going on. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. I definitely apologize for not throwing out another video tonight. Had some difficulties with my car. Definitely, it's a lot going on right now, but it's okay. You know, one thing about it is that I'm thankful, and I'm blessed, to have my family, have y'all. It's just amazing, and I try to, like I said, I try to get to y'all comments. I have been struggling a little bit with responding to comments because I'm dealing with, a lot of things, but one thing about it is I do apologize for only throwing out one video today. Just stay tuned throughout the week. Try to get out 2 videos a day as much as possible, but much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.